Hey guys, it's Kevin from SubiSpeed, and we are about to do the most scientific test on the brand new compressive tuning radiator shrouds. Alright, so there isn't actually anything scientific about what I'm going to be doing today, but I am going to show you guys how to get this compressive tuning radiator shroud installed, and I'll rig up my own simple little test to show you guys how well this actually diverts air into your intake compared to the stock shroud. Now, normally I would show you guys how to install a product first, but I thought you guys would enjoy seeing the results of the test first this time. So here's the plan. I've cut off a bunch of 5-inch pieces of ribbon here, attached it to a piece of tape, and we're gonna lay this across the holes that are supposed to feed air into your intake using this air scoop right here. We'll then put the bumper back on, and I'll simulate airflow using a fan. Then I will uninstall the OEM one, install the compressive tuning one, and run the same test, and hopefully we're able to visually see the differences between the two. And then finally, I'll show you how to get it installed. Our bumper is roughly reinstalled. I have the strips laid out across the holes towards the air intake scoop. Our handy dandy fan is set up on some boxes to make it level with the grill so we get the optimum amount of airflow. And then we have our second camera set up so you guys can get a close-up to see how the airflow affects those strips. Now, this isn't the strongest of fans. It maybe puts out the equivalent of possibly 20 to 25 miles per hour winds. Don't quote me on that. But if we are able to see a difference between this and the compressive tuning shroud with this fan, the difference should grow exponentially as speeds increase. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fan on, and then we will cut over to the close-up. So as you guys can see, with the fan on, we aren't getting much movement with the strips here. So that shows us that we aren't getting much airflow coming up from those holes in this shroud. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fan off, and we will take the bumper off, and I will replace the OEM shroud with the compressive tuning shroud, and we'll run the same test again. I've uninstalled the OEM radiator shroud, and I've got the compressive tuning radiator shroud on there now, and we are gonna run the same test. So here you can obviously see the difference between the two. This has much more airflow through those holes directed towards the air scoop, and that gives you more air into your intake, which therefore results in more potential power. Not only are you going to improve the airflow to your intake, but the excess air is going to drop the ambient temperature inside your engine bay for even more performance. The compressive tuning team was actually here a couple weeks ago to meet up and take a look around our shop, and they actually mentioned that they had dynoed a car with their radiator shroud installed and saw performance gains. Now, I can't exactly say that you're gonna see an increase of X amount of horsepower and X amount of torque, because I don't know what kind of modifications was done to that particular car, but as you guys could clearly see, this radiator shroud definitely does a better job of increasing the airflow towards your intake. Now, that being said, let's jump into the install, and I'll show you how simple it is and how exactly this directs more airflow into your intake. So the first step is obviously removing your front bumper. Really easy. Pop clips on the bottom, one in each fender well, and then up top, as well as some 10mm bolts. And then next, you're gonna remove 2 pop clips that are holding in this air scoop, and then you can pull it out and set it aside. We'll then need to remove these 6 pop clips that are holding in the OEM radiator shroud. There's 2 small ones on the outer edges here, and then 4 large ones. We will be reusing these clips, so make sure not to lose them. The next step is going to be removing your headlight, so go ahead and get them unplugged. And then there are a total of 6 10mm bolts that are holding this in. There's gonna be 2 up top, 2 in the front, and 2 on the sides. With the headlights uninstalled, we now need to remove this upper bumper reinforcement bar. There's 6 10mm bolts holding this in, so let me zoom in and show you which bolts you need to remove. This is the passenger side, and these are the 3 black 10mm bolts that you are going to need to remove. Obviously the same thing on the driver's side, except this orientation is going to be mirrored. Now we can just slide the OEM radiator shroud off. And then we need to remove the 2 12mm bolts that are holding these upper radiator brackets in place. First thing we're gonna install is this ram air tray. This is the main piece that is going to direct the airflow up towards the intake and engine bay. It's gonna use the passenger side 12mm bolt from the hood latch, and then we're gonna replace this bolt with an included Allen bolt. After that's installed, we can slide the upper radiator shroud into place, and then we will reinstall the radiator mounts. We can then reinstall the upper bumper reinforcement beam, making sure that this bracket here sits on top. Now once you have that in place, you're going to take the flange here, and this is going to go in between this bracket and the radiator shroud, like so. And then we can get the pop clips reinstalled, and then the bolts for the beam installed, and get everything put back together, and we're set. So these are available in 3 different colors. We've installed the wrinkle red. There's also a wrinkle black and a silver option for you guys. The results speak for themselves, and the install is super straightforward. So if you're looking to maximize the airflow into your intake and lower those engine bay temperatures, this is going to be a dual function product that does both. So if you're interested, check out the link down in the description. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to email us or give us a ring, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our latest videos. I'll see you guys next time. How's it going, guys? It's Kevin from SubiSpeed, and we are going to be doing power, because more power, more air plus I'll uninstall the OEM one, install the compressive tuning shroud, and do the same test. So on, and I'll simulate airflow through with a oh god, I'm dying.